Assalamu alaikum. On behalf of Ahsan Academy, let me welcome you to a presentation on general anatomy and histology of cartilage. This presentation will include the general aspects of cartilage, the characteristics and function of the cartilage, the classification of cartilage, and description of each type of cartilages. We know the classification of the connective tissue. The adult form of connective tissue may be connective tissue proper and connective tissue of special type. Among the special type, one type of connective tissue is cartilage. So cartilage is specialized type of connective tissue, you can say. So the cartilage is a specialized type of connective tissue that it is different from the connective tissue proper because of some special characteristics that we will see here. It is the component of the skeletal system, but bone is the major component of the skeletal system. This is the second most available part. In it, actually in the cartilage model, the bones are formed mainly. In adult skeleton, the cartilage is present in some specific areas, but if we examine the baby in the mother's womb, the early like 10th week, we will find that the most of the skeleton is formed by the cartilage. But at birth, we will find that the situation is reversed and most of the skeleton is formed of bone. So in adult skeleton, the cartilage persists in some specific places like articular ends of forming the ends of the bone that forms the joint, and the structures who are deformable but strong, like thoracic case, you can press and deformity is possible. You see the ear, deformity is possible. And in the fetal life, is the most of the skeleton is the cartilaginous part, and in adult we observe it that the bone covers the participating ends of the bones. This is known as articular ends, and the cartilage is called articular cartilage. The costal cartilage is present at the anterior end of each rib. In the respiratory tract, starting from the nose, deep into up to the bronchus, we will get the cartilage in the wall. The external air, the skeleton is formed by the cartilage. The cartilage is translucent. If we focus the light from behind the ear, we'll find that some part of the light is coming out. That is shown in the figure, the right upper part. This is firm but flexible. If you flex it, this without injury, the cartilage flexes, but if you withdraw the force, it returns back to its original position. This can bear mechanical stress without structural deformity, very much observable in the articular cartilage and the disc between the joints. It can absorb shock. This you see the right side, the figure, the knee joint contains articular cartilage as well as the disc is present who are working as the shock absorbing part. This is the intervertebral disc or the cartilage. This is also present in the vertebral column and has some tremendous shock absorbing effect. The cartilage is avascular. There is no lymphatics and nerve supply to the cartilage. Usually the cartilage is covered by dense connective tissue sheet. This is known as perichondrium, but it is not present in all cartilages. Cartilage comprises of two components like other tissues, cell and extracellular matrix. Cells are of two types, chondroblast and the chondrocytes. Chondrocytes are relatively larger in number and chondroblasts are peripherally situated close to the surface. The extracellular matrix comprises of fibers and ground substance like other connective tissue, but the concentration and type varies here. The cell remains in a cavity within the matrix alone or in groups, and this cavity is known as lacuna. So in cartilage you will find the cells are present in lacuna, means in a room. Chondroblasts are peripherally situated cells. You can see this. This is one cell in one lacuna, and this is elliptical in shape, or you can say it is spindle shaped, and the long axis of the cell lies along the long axis of the surface, and this cytoplasm is basophilic in nature. The labeling is showing the chondroblast here in either figure. This is stained HE staining of cartilage, and we can see the cells here. The central cells are the chondrocytes, these labeled here, and they remain in the central part of the cartilage, and they remain in groups in lacuna, and maybe even up to 8 cells in one lacuna. And the cytoplasm of these cells are acidophilic, unlike the chondroblast, who are the basophilic, having the basophilic cytoplasm. This one group, each group is known as isogenous group. So the label one, you can see 4 cells in one group. So this is an isogenous group. You see, what is isogenous aggregation? This group is, you can see this one is one group, and it's showing that it is containing 4 cells. They are actually the derivatives from the one chondroblast, and they are formed by the mitotic division. So one chondroblast remain in a lacuna, and when it divides, they remain, the ultimate cells remain in the same lacuna, and this group is known as isogenous. Iso means same, genus means origin. They are arising from the same chondroblast, that's why it is so named. Now, with the initially the cells was spindle, but because of the pressure of the cells, this lacuna become almost rounded or oval type. So the contact surface with the cells become flat, but the peripheral surface of the cells remain a bit scarred. Extracellular matrix is shown here in the figure. You can see this contains the fibers and ground substance. These fibers vary from the different types of cartilages, and we will discuss it in detail with each type. And mostly the collagen fibers are of type 2, and in some cartilages it is elastic fibers are there. The ground substance contains proteoglycans and glycoproteins. The proteoglycans forms the hydrated gel, means they absorb water and swells up and make some gel-like structure. And glycoprotein, this is making the main network with the collagen fiber. So this interlinks the collagen fibers, and this is responsible for the physical characteristics of the cartilage. These proteoglycans are responsible for the making the ground substance basophilic. This is light basophilic. Cartilage may be hyaline, elastic, and fibrocartilages. You can see the differences in microscopic photographs. Let us discuss each of them. What are the characteristic features of each of them? Hyaline cartilage is the commonest type of cartilage in the body, and it is bluish white and translucent. The microscopic structure shows, as usual, cell and extracellular matrix, and the cells are mostly cells are actually chondroblast and chondrocytes. Same thing, the chondroblast lies peripherally and the chondrocytes occupy the central part, remains in the lacuna. Chondrocyte, it is present in larger lacuna and containing more cells, but chondroblast single cells in each lacuna. So the characteristics is the same, and the extracellular matrix is homogeneous in case of hyaline cartilage and light basophilic. This is the characteristics of hyaline cartilage. Usually we concentrate on the group, isogenous group. This isogenous group in hyaline cartilage comprises of even up to 8 cells in one, and the extracellular matrix is very homogeneously stained. We cannot see any fiber in it. You see this extracellular matrix, this contains mostly the type 2 collagen fiber, and type 1 collagen fibers are not present in this extracellular matrix. This proteoglycan concentration is more here, so the fibers are not visible, as this refractory index of the fiber and the concentrated proteoglycans extracellular matrix is having the same refractory index. That's why we cannot differentiate them. It becomes homogeneous. You can see the area of the extracellular matrix close to the lacuna are very dark. This concentrated area is known as territorial or capsular matrix. This is more basophilic because of the concentration of the proteoglycans more here. The rest of the area is relatively paler and homogeneous. This is known as interterritorial matrix. Elastic cartilage is physically yellowish in color, and under microscope the cells and extracellular matrix are visible. So as usual, the cells are in lacuna, the peripheral cells are chondroblast, and central cells are the chondrocytes. But the difference is the number of chondrocytes in one isogenous group is relatively less than that is present in the hyaline cartilage. In hyaline cartilage, we see even up to 8 cells in one group, but in elastic cartilage, there are usually 2 or maybe maximum 3 in number. Maybe even one cell in one chondrocyte in one lacuna in the central part. The main difference is the extracellular matrix, that is basophilic in characteristics like hyaline cartilage, but they are darkly stained and the contains fine network of elastic fibers that is visible under light microscope. This fine network of elastic fiber differentiates the extracellular matrix from the hyaline cartilage. In case of hyaline cartilage, no fibers are visible, though there are type 2 collagen fibers are present. But the extracellular matrix is homogeneous. But in case of elastic cartilage, the fine network of elastic fibers are well visible. Fibrocartilage is the third type of cartilage, and it looks like dense connective tissue, and it usually the cells are placed, the chondrocytes are placed in rows in between the extracellular matrix, which contains type 1 collagen fiber, and it is pinkish in colors, is acidophilic. We have observed that it is in hyaline cartilage, the extracellular matrix is homogeneous. In elastic cartilage, fine network of elastic fibers are present, but here in the fibrocartilage, it is like dense connective tissue contains large amount of collagen type 1 fibers. So these are pinkish in color on staining. and the arrangement is more irregularly arranged or maybe parallel, as shown in the figure right side. This is the fibers are parallel, cells are in row, but the second figure from the right is the fibrocartilage with the irregularly arranged fiber, and the cells are not that much regular in forming the row. So these fibers are well visible under light microscope. These fibrocartilages don't have the covering perichondria. Let us discuss the common sites. You see the hyaline cartilage, this skeleton showing and the sides of the cartilage changing the color. You see hyaline cartilage are present at the articular end of the bone. These are known as articular cartilage. At the anterior end of the rib is known as costal cartilage. This in a growing long bone, the cartilage is present between epiphysis and metaphysis. This is epiphyseal cartilage, and in the respiratory tract, starting from the nose up to the last bronchus, will get the respiratory tract, will get this hyaline cartilage. In case of elastic cartilage, we'll get the elastic cartilage in the ear. This is the largest elastic cartilage, and the second, this epiglottic cartilage is also elastic, and in the wall of the Eustachian tube, elastic cartilage is present. These are the main sites. Other small sites are also present. Fibrocartilage, the main large number of fibrocartilage observed between the vertebral bodies. These are known as intervertebral disc. You can see the intervertebral disc here, and symphysis pubis is another joint present at the anterior part of the hip bone. This is also fibrocartilaginous disc. Cartilage, along with the bone, form the framework of the body. That framework allows some degree flexibility. The articular cartilage is present at the articular end of the bone, means articular surfaces are covered, so it prevents it makes the surface smooth and frictionless. The thicker cartilage present between the bone works as the pad for shock absorbing effect. The thin plates of cartilage between the joints also works as offers some degree shock absorption. This acts as a media for formation of bone. Hyaline cartilage converts into bone in most of the cases. This type of bone formation is known as endochondral ossification or intracartilaginous ossification. Epiphyseal plate that separates the epiphysis from the metaphysis helps in the growth of the long bone in the length. Can I identify the three different types of cartilages here? Let me label number one. You just try to identify what type of cartilage is it. Now let me focus. What does the first arrow indicate? This black arrow. So this cartilage, I'm telling, this is hyaline cartilage. So the first arrow is indicating what? It is perichondrium. Now the red arrow at the central part, it is indicating one isogenous group of chondrocytes. You can see this, what is the black arrow, the second black arrow indicating it is one cell in a lacuna. This is chondroblast. So what type of cartilage? The second one, you can see the cells in the isogenous group. In between there is matrix. You see the greenish color arrow is indicating darkly stained network of fiber. This is elastic fiber. So this is elastic cartilage, extracellular matrix containing fine network of elastic fiber. The third one, this is second arrow, is isogenous group of two cells, chondrocytes. The third, cartilage. This is definitely the fibrocartilage. Cells are in row in between the extracellular matrix. The collagen fibers are visible. The extracellular matrix is pink color. So this is fibrocartilage. This is extracellular matrix. Blue arrow is indicating. You can identify the bundles of fibers in it. These are the collagen type 1. Thank you very much for remaining with this presentation.